Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Prisoners of Truth podcast. This is a lovely Monday. I don't know about where you are, but the weather's beautiful where I am, and happy to have you here. We've got Tommy today. We've got Samo as always, and myself, and we're going to break down a little bit of the current climate of the Democratic Party, kind of the interplays between the more progressives and the neoliberals. A little bit of Nancy Pelosi, a little bit of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And we also have just a little bit of fun commentary on stuff going on, crazy stuff in the culture war, all that goodness. We'll hop right on into it.
All right. So, which subject should we start with, boys? I think Tommy had something on his mind.
Can you put up the tweet?
Yeah.
Matt Christensen's tweet.
Yeah, I will pull it up. Do you want me to go straight to Twitter, or if you want to send me a link, you can, and I'll click it.
Yeah, send it on
Okay.
Skype. Yeah, wait, I can probably put it up myself. That's off to a great start today.
Yes, we're hot out the gate.
No, it's okay. We're just hanging out, boys. Oh, the tweet the tweet that he put out on, was it his pinned tweet?
Jesus fucking Christ! I can't copy the link.
All right. I got it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to pull it up. Hold on. All right, so I've got his Twitter pulled up right now. I see an image.
Sent you the link to the tweet, dude.
the thing with the swastika, right?
The thing with the swastika.
So here's a picture of a swastika that was carved into snow, like on top of a car, and the tweet says, "Oh no, the ice Nazis have struck my garage. PayPal donations only, please." I don't really know the context about it, but I guess this is a hate crime, right?
Explain.
Yeah. Okay.
No, not really. Can you put it on the screen?
Yeah, it's on screen. Yep. It's
really?
Right, yep.
Okay, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Well, you don't see. Yeah, you guys don't see it, but hold on.
Okay, no worries. But I think it kind of just for me, it just kind of highlights that at least in this part of the world, America,
we're talking about this image right here.
There really is no like real Nazi vandalism like that. Like a real skinhead didn't do that. You know what I mean?
Of course not.
No, Matt Christensen did that.
That's right. I mean, it's just kind of like a play on all the false flag Nazi bullshit that goes
on their stream. They have the segment Hoax Hate, which is hate crimes that turn out to be bullshit. And one of the frequent first of all, that's why he has he made the tweet, because he's asking for donations, because that's what always happens with these things. Anytime one of these fake hate crime things happens, someone puts up fucking what's the word? GoFundMe or whatever.
Right, exactly.
And the second thing is the swastika is backwards. Which it always is with these fake things. And a real Nazi would not draw the swastika backwards.
Yeah, and I even feel like a real Nazi wouldn't really be doing that in general, just because at least somebody who's trying to be successful. Like, at what point is that actually going to help your cause anyway?
I mean, let's be honest. We know what the real Nazis. We know what the real Nazis do. We know, and they don't do that.
They start Groyper accounts on Twitter.
Okay, yeah.
That's what real Nazis do.
Yeah.
Anyway. There are real attacks. I remember one from a synagogue in America that has had a swastika that was actually drawn right, and an iron cross. I think you can probably Google that. And it's probably gonna come up really quick. Was a real attack, and the one of the reasons why I wanted to put up this picture is I'm not exactly sure, but I think if he putting the swastika on snow on his car, this might be illegal in Germany.
Oh, really? Yeah, I wouldn't be so.
Yeah, this might be an actual hate crime. If he would have done this in Germany, he might face criminal charges.
Well, yeah,
Like
probably.
literally, even though he's doing it to his own car.
Yeah.
A swastika is an illegal symbol in Germany. You cannot use or portray a swastika. That's illegal.
Congratulations, Germany.
Yeah,
You've defeated
yeah.
fascism by becoming fascist.
Oh, yeah.
Good
You
job.
can't even tweet 1488. Not that I would, but even if you did that over there, you're done. You're done.
Think how dystopian that is. Think of the level of control. I mean, absolutely outrageous.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, there's on Wikipedia.
So, was there another tweet you wanted me?
Of all the illegal symbols in Germany. Might actually be an English article.
But yeah, excuse us for any technical difficulties. This is only the second actual live broadcast, so I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I remembered one thing that I heard about, and I'm reading about this on the article. Wait a second, I'm sending you the article on Skype.
Okay, on Skype. Let me. Thing is, I'm not logged into Skype on here. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, there's a symbol, anti-fascism symbols is the subsection. There's a crossed out swastika. This symbol is illegal. You cannot have a crossed out swastika either because it has a swastika in it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's just like, that's madness. I don't understand that.
Yeah, Germany's nuts when it comes to these Nazi things.
It makes you wonder what's really going on, what the whole point of that is. But all right.
Well, the point of it after World War II was, of course, yeah, we need to suppress this shit, otherwise it's gonna come back up again. But yeah, again, free speech is not a thing in Germany; just doesn't exist.
No.
It's not just Nazi things, by the way. You can look at the symbols. Oh yeah, now we come to Kurdistan. The flag of the YPG, which is the People's Protection Units. This is the more or less army of southern Kurdistan, which is northern Syria, which is held by the Kurds at the moment and for the last few years. That's an illegal symbol too.
Wow.
As is the ISIS. Yeah, they have ties to the PKK, which is the Kurdistan Workers' Party, which is an actual terrorist organization. Which is also the flag of them is also illegal. The red flag used by the German Communist Party, which is literally just red. The color red is apparently legal now in Germany. Wow. Yeah, the making the Roman salute saying Sieg Heil, Heil Hitler, also illegal. Hammer and sickle as a logo of the Communist Party. Yeah. Okay, then why the fuck okay, there are people running around on these left-wing, yeah, how do you call it? Yeah, these left-wing rallies where they all proclaim that they are totally against Nazis and shit. Now the world is a better place.
Yeah, I heard
there are people
those.
running around with literal Union flags, red flag with a hammer and sickle on it. Why? Apparently this is illegal, but no one gives a shit.
Yeah. I recently saw. Yeah, I've seen. Wasn't it a few months ago? I heard there was some rally. It was like a pro EU rally, and it was just a bunch of. They had EU flags. I think they said there were like thousands and thousands of people, but they made it sound like it was almost like this victory over the populist protests that we've been seeing.
What was the question again?
I said, yeah, I did hear that there were a few rallies going on in Europe with people that were pro-European Union and anti-fascist, and they made it sound like, I think it was a few months ago, there were thousands of people with the European Union flags, and it seemed like the media was acting as if this was a sign of victory over the populist protests going on, or the nationalist protests.
Yeah, there are these kinds of gatherings are very so often, and I dozed out a little bit right now because I just got thinking, yeah, where do these people come from? I mean, why people don't just randomly meet on the street to proclaim they are pro-European Union?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And this isn't Germany per se, but I think it was a few days ago. Sargon of Akkad had a video where he went. There was some protests going on in the UK where you had these members of the UK with, I don't know whether it was like the Welsh flag or whether flag represented them, but they had their flag and then the EU flag. And basically, Sargon was asking these people questions about why are they so vocal for the European Union. And it was kind of interesting just hearing these, people's opinions. And something that I realized is the people that were pro-European Union, they reminded me about a lot of, they seemed very similar to the anti-Trump people who protest against Trump as well, where Sargon would ask these individuals questions, and then they would just basically trot out like these lines that they were regurgitating.
NPC answers.
Yeah, NPC answers, all that stuff. Like one guy is like, well, I'm for the European Union because, global warming is our biggest threat and we need to band together so we can solve global warming. Just like all these little like moralist tropes that didn't really answer anything. NPC answers, as you said. Basically, yeah.
Yeah. I can.
Sorry, I had myself muted because there was a helicopter flying by.
Okay.
I was saying, unfortunately, there's like a really heavy emphasis on like in the political climate of like, does this feel good? Like, are you, how are you feeling about this? This is gonna dictate your opinions. And it's like at some point, these types of people, and unfortunately, it's a lot of people, um, they've divorced themselves from like thinking themselves into opinions. They at no point had a thought process that got them into having these opinions. It's absolutely and completely divorced from like a critical thinking process.
Yep. This when I was a lefty, same thing. I just had these opinions, and there was no inception. They were just there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's that's a big it's a big tool used by any powerful group of people with powerful interests. It doesn't necessarily have to be governments. I mean, big media corporations, big companies. They prefer you to just be propagandized and to just accept things because it's way easier to sell you something. It's way easier to control you. It's way, enter anything. If you are having opinions and so-called thoughts that are absolutely not critical in any way, then you are very easy to control.
Yeah. No,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of it. That's what I think that's the whole point of the movements that we've been seeing where anything political seems to be pulling on heartstrings. It's about social issues. It's basically about, bullshit that, people can, basically the goal is to present these very pretty sounding reforms where they're kind of backdooring other things that kind of take control over people. So it's like the first motive, I think, of the left, especially the far left, is just hit people like at their empathy button and then just use it as a means to rally people to support things that ultimately are about just control.
Yeah. And I mean, you hear the term thought slave a lot, or I do. People tend to call it out, but it really is. It's a form of slavery, and it's kind of a really insidious form of slavery where you're not really aware that you're
don't know that you're a
under any
slave.
kind of control.
Yeah, you don't know
and
you're a
honestly,
slave, and you're
that's the
fighting for your
hardest.
shackles as well.
That's right, and that is the hardest slave to free. So, somebody who literally cannot even see the means by which they are controlled.
Yeah, they want
It's
hearts and
it's
minds.
sad. I think it starts in the schools. Honestly, I think it's why like sort of like Marxist doctrine has wormed its way in there because it's the only place where it works. You have to get people young. If you teach people how to think, they don't fall for it.
Yeah, this is why I'm completely against government education.
That's right. Amen to that.
How do you mean? So completely against government education. So what do you?
No
what do you mean?
public,
No public schools.
no schools that are in no
Run by the
public schools,
government.
no
I
schools
would be okay
that
with the
are
government spending
where
money
teachers
on it.
work for the government.
That's right.
Oh, okay, so more like you want them to be privately funded, or you don't want?
Yeah,
Okay.
in my case, how I would do it, I would do it as part of the universal basic income again. But yeah, I would rather the government just gives parents money and says this is a certain amount of money that you get. For example, you can call. I've heard this before, and I never thought of this myself, but you should technically be allowed to what do we call this? Deduct tax deductible.
Yeah. Yep.
Like if you put your children through private school, you should be able to have a tax deduction of the amount of money that your kid would cost in a government school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's a million ways to do it, but the key is really just making sure that schools are actually teaching kids how to think. It's less about the like curriculum. I mean, you do want to teach a certain level of basic stuff, but when it comes to thinking kids how to think and how to think for themselves, that's the really important part. And that's the part that, a co-opted government school is not going to have any interest in promoting and really taking to heart, because why would they? It makes it harder for them to control people, and unfortunately that's kind of what it all comes down to is people are out to get you. People want to control you, and you have to be aware of it. If you're not, it means you're under control already. If you feel like, oh no, like, I mean, nobody ever tries to persuade me or get control over my thoughts and try to make me think their way and persuade me, then you're probably under some form of persuasion.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, and so I was also thinking about that, like it's a little bit off subject, but with the people that aren't really thinking about why they believe what they believe, things are getting weird. Like I've had a few awkward exchanges with some people that I know that like either don't want to associate with me just because I challenge things, or like for instance, I had some friends in town over the holidays, and my one friend, his older brother, who's like really anti-Trump, like we're all gonna get together, we're friends with this guy's older brother, and my friend's like talking to me. He's like, all right, we're going to hang out at Zach's house, you're gonna come over? He's like, no, I unfriended him on Facebook because of the stuff he posts. I don't want to see him. And you know what, Tommy actually, before he deleted Facebook, I don't know if he's still on there, Tommy was friends with me on there, and like Tommy would probably even agree that I didn't really post anything on Facebook that was like that crazy. Tim Pool videos mostly.
like 2 or 3 news articles, like actual genuine news articles a day at the most, maybe music video.
Yeah, like something like that. And I'm not even saying anything.
I'm still I'm putting it up right now. I'm still on friends on Facebook with you.
Oh,
but I don't use Facebook anymore, really.
There's no point to use it anymore, really.
Yeah,
it's dead.
Platform. Yeah, exactly. Why would I use Facebook?
I mean, I might as well. Maybe I should just go back on MySpace. I should just use MySpace.
Yeah, let's turn MySpace into
a right wing.
Yeah.
I could see the news. That would be such a hilarious troll op, like an operation to do that, because the media would pick it up. They'd be like, Tom from MySpace is under fire for being an alt-right sympathizer.
They're going after everybody. I mean, Ellen fucking
Ellen,
DeGeneres is getting the raw end of the fucking outrage mob. Ellen DeGeneres, people. Like, I don't know how much more progressive you get. And what's she in trouble for? She's in trouble for forgiving somebody for saying something on Twitter years ago. She's in trouble for that. How psychotic have we gotten? How far off the fucking rails are we, guys?
We're living in a bizarro clown world is what we're living in.
It's psycho. Absolutely psycho. I can't even stomach it. You're making me stand up for Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah. I don't have any problem with Ellen DeGeneres. I don't really watch stuff from her. I have no feelings in either direction.
Cringy talk TV. I don't like hate her, but I would just like I'll never watch her show because I find it cringy and terrible. But I don't have anything against her as a person. I mean, she's a Hollywood liberal, so
yeah, I remember.
I probably disagree with her.
I remember very, very vaguely that about 20 years ago, my sister watched. Ellen had a sitcom, I think, that was called Ellen.
Okay. I believe 90s. I remember that. Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, this is where she came out as gay.
Oh, is that when she came out?
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. I don't know anything about her.
No, I mean, yeah, she's just a talk show host. Yeah. She's just a late night host now, just like run of the mill. You know what I mean? There's nothing that special about her show, I don't think.
Yeah,
it's boomer tier television.
Yep, exactly.
I'm so excited about the Oscars. I'm so excited about seeing them fail.
You see,
the ratings go straight through the fucking floor.
Yeah, it's like everything's a nightmare when it comes to like these award ceremonies, TV, movies. I don't think I've really seen a movie like that I've enjoyed in the longest time because everything, it's just all packaged political bullshit now.
Oh, I watched Venom. Finally.
Oh yeah, was it good?
Yeah,
was it good?
I really liked Venom. Yeah.
Wasn't that Tom Hardy?
Yeah, Tom Hardy's really good in that movie.
Yeah, he plays a good villain. I agree.
Yeah, but Venom is not.
He's sort of
Venom is an anti-hero.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Venom eats people.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's kind of either a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe he's just misunderstood. But
yeah, stop being such a bigot. It's his culture to eat people.
Yeah. I know I'm a bit insensitive.
I think there is no. Now that I think about it, I think there is actually no political bullshit in Venom.
Really?
Really?
A movie about Venom, yeah.
Oh, cool. So
it's kind of shocking, honestly.
So it was for like the
maybe some there might be because it's a little bit about space and space travel, so there might be one or a few comments about climate change and shit, but nothing about Trump or something.
Well, that's great. That's refreshing to hear.
Yeah, I think that's why the movie got like 800 million box office.
Wow, because I heard about that. Somebody was making a video. I think it was Devin Stack who does the Black Pill videos. He was talking about Bird Box, that movie Bird Box, and he was saying basically like everybody who was white in the movie was either an idiot or like a bigot or a villain, and everyone that was like in need, they were rescued like by somebody that was a person of color. So it's like they like in the movie they made white people look like the bad guys, and then the people of color were the ones that were running stuff.
Well, it came out of Hollywood. Hollywood is pretty openly and explicitly anti-white, anti-straight, anti-man, anti-America. I mean, that's not even like if you go ask these people, they'll tell you that. Like it's not hidden. There's no secrets. These people are subversive openly, and of course they're gonna make movies that reflect that. And you know, it's kind of funny because you know, you talk to like you hear like similar talking points coming from like the Nat Socias and the crazy people, but they just talk about the Jews. It's the Jews, and it's like it's such a reductive such a reductive thing because you really you take the reality out of it, and you disallow yourself to see the real problem. Because all right, what are they really identifying? Well, they're identifying that Hollywood's subversive and anti-American and anti-family and anti-white and anti-man, and they're just and all of that gets lost in it's the Jews.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's like
lowbrow bullshit that the left wants the right to focus on. Like when people do that, when they say, "Oh, it's the Jews," like, and they focus on that, it's so retarded to me, and it's exactly what the left wants. They want to see that. It's a distraction.
Absolutely. Well, and also it's a weak point to have, and the sorts of people who blame the Jews for everything also are pointing out like who famously, who are they going to blame? What systems are they going to put on the Jews? They're going to put the money systems, the entertainment systems, and the power systems all on the backs of Jews. Meanwhile, they're going to totally ignore any kind of real way to approach the problems that they're really trying to identify, and they're not allowing themselves to think past their own bigotry, their own ignorant thoughts that all Jews are on some like international conspiracy. Now, I mean, it is fair to say that Jews are overrepresented in a lot of fields, but that is
Yeah, it doesn't.
if
Like,
that's your only evidence for a massive like worldwide Jewish cabal that every Jew is in on, like I think you're fucked up. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah, again, it's the same thing. It's basically the same argument that that feminists make about men. Men are overrepresented in X, Y, Z, therefore patriarchy.
Yeah, exactly. The exact
whites
same
are
thing. Yeah,
overrepresented, therefore racism.
well, that's
exactly.
I was.
Nobody wants to admit it's meritocracy.
I was watching a James Alsop video, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. I think it's James Alsop. Yeah,
a little bit.
But like in his comments, there are a lot of people making comments about the Jews and all that, and so I sort of like got in a little bit of a debate where I was like, "You just sound like leftists. The left want you guys to be talking about this stuff," and somebody's like, "The white nationalists are the only ones who will defeat the left." And I was like, "But you are a leftist. Like the things you say about the Jews,
you can't defeat.
You are
you can't defeat the left with more left-wing politics."
Right. And to all you, like, if anybody's listening and you're progressive or you voted Democrat, when I say the left, I guess I mean like really the fringe left. I mean, I know there's some people on the left that aren't like that, but
yeah, you are on the left.
I'm on the left in a way.
Yeah,
right.
I watched your video. I watched the end. I only watched the end.
The end of my political compass test. Yeah. Yeah. I was only one notch over to the left, just a notch. But you know what? The first time I did a video like that where I took the political compass test 2 days earlier, but I fucked up the audio, so I had to take it down. But that day I took it, I was a dead center, like libertarian, which is kind of funny. Well, not dead center, but I was in the center. Few notches down towards libertarian.
-5, so
yeah, I was like,
I'm like
-4
smack in the middle of center of libertarian right.
Yeah, but hey, I think I definitely want to see Tommy and Boone take those tests. I want to see your guys' results because it's a new year. We need to. I think every year I'm gonna retake it like once a year.
Yeah,
I'll straight up do it. I'll do a video after this.
Yeah, that'd be cool enough. If there's a way you can screen share it when you take it, that'd be cool. Or you could just show us your results and talk about it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll probably just share the results and do a little, and I'll probably talk a little bit about how it works. I mean, a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, it's just a test," but it's a pretty comprehensive set of questions that kind of allows you to center in on somebody's opinions.
And you want to know what's kind of interesting? Now that I remember it, I mean, it's probably a bit, I don't know exactly, but I remember the first time I took a political compass test, I did take it in a course I was taking in high school, like my civics course, and I think, I was kind of like center left even back then. So I don't know. I don't mind having that as my results.
I think that in this political compass, specifically in this political compass test, they should have the third category of center, like on both axes. divide the axis by 3, and you have left, center, right, and you have authoritarian, center, and libertarian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Having the center as an actual like position field thing in there is probably a good idea. I would technically also fall more in line with the term centrist than straight up right winger, but I call myself right wing if for nothing else, just to piss off left wingers.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like I think the right wing thing, it's for me it's like it's weird. I kind of see the right wing as my like allies for now, because I think that the right most people on the right seem to have the intellectual high ground. You know, I mean, we all realize this right now, and so we're in a weird kind of bizarro period where we've got people of different views that are sort of on the quote unquote right, because we're all kind of fighting the other side of the pendulum that we've seen for so long.
And I really do think it comes down to like critical thinking, because I mean, like you said, that like I consider I am fairly I'm not like far right wing. I do believe I'm more of like a minarchist. I do really firmly believe that federal government has some part to play, however minor. And I have really no problem with like social spending if it's done right and if bureaucracies are kept in check. But it's almost not even about that right now, because like you said, the right wing is like your ally for now. Well, it's almost like it's that way because you're finding more people who are open-minded and who are willing to have a real discussion on the right. You're not running into people shutting other people down
Right.
and trying to use the tactics of non-argument and trying to, you know, do the opposite of discourse on the right so much. That's very much like a left-wing phenomenon right now. Not that it always has been or always will be.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that you at least the kind of people who we are, who you want to have a real critical conversation and who will change their minds based on facts changing,
Right.
you know, and are willing to have open dialogue and not be subversive to, you know, to other people's political ideologies and actually try to understand them, are coagulating, at least not on the SJW left. Like, and so that's where you see, I think, a lot of the pooling of quote unquote allies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. I see that.
The YouTuber Prince of Queens, the gay guy who voted for Trump, talked about, which is in that comparison, I think, the fact that he was a lefty earlier. I found him over the walkaway thing
Mm-hmm.
and did a walkaway video, and he said that he's not a Republican. He just right now he aligns with these people because they are on the right side of history, basically. And he said
Mm-hmm.
these people should consider him as some sort as kind of a mercenary. He fights for them right now because he is because they are right now. But he's not like, again, he's a mercenary for them right now, but he's not a part of them, which is something that I understand. Yeah,
Honestly,
Yeah,
basically,
much more tied to like actual standards and
yeah.
ideas rather than team-based, you know, bullshit. And both sides get into it, but even beyond that, there's this extra layer of not only is it going to be team-based bullshit, but one side is going to totally cut out all elements of critical thinking and ask you to just believe what CNN tells you, essentially. I mean, it's a pretty simplistic way to frame it, but it's pretty close to the truth. I mean, there's a lot of people who are not doing their own political thinking right now, and it shows.
oh yeah, yeah. Like,
It's quite.
no,
Go ahead.
continue. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, it's quite simple actually. If someone tells you not to think, if someone tells you just believe me, just believe X, Y, Z, don't question that. If something like this, you already know you're on the wrong side.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what was freaking me out. I'm going to go back to Hillary Clinton in the 2016 elections. I remember a lot of people telling me, like, just vote for Hillary. She's really qualified. she's got a lot of experience, murdering people and propping up, our enemies and selling our uranium and whatever else she's into, But it's the current year, so whatever floats your boat, it's okay.
But she's a woman, and she's not mean, nasty Trump.
Right. She's definitely not. Nope. But yeah, and also I want to go back to the statement Tommy was talking about, how this one person was saying he considered himself a mercenary. He was like sort of sympathizing with the right for now. I mean, that's the way I kind of view Trump. Like I don't really see him as like this party loyalist. I don't think he's this full-on right-winger. I feel like he's in a way like a mercenary, in a way where he's like, all right, like I love my country, I'm stepping in, I'm gonna do my part to see if we can fix stuff. I mean, that's what I really like. I like that about him. I like the way I see him bring members in to his cabinet and they get a certain job done and then they leave. Like that's kind of how I see him. And yeah,
ever the pragmatist. He's interested in getting things done, and however form that takes, you know what I mean? And it's part of the appeal, at least for me, to have somebody who really is visibly and effectively making government work again, or in the case of my life, making the government work, period. It's never
make
worked
it do something, right?
It's barely working now that he's in charge. At least it's going in the right direction, but it kind of shows a resistance to that sort of machine government, that sort of out of control bureaucratic trash that almost all big structures get into. He's like he's the exact opposite of that. No red tape. Let's just do things. Let's actually come together and be effective. Unfortunately, that sounds like something that should be really simple and like, well, duh, government wants to be effective. Well, it's not that simple. Like,
right.
It really, especially when the bigger something gets and the more involved it gets with more people, more money. I mean, look, people are corrupt, and that's just that.
Yeah, and every moving part is a potential point of failure. That's
right.
why electric cars are way less prone to break than normal combustion engines, because they don't have any parts.
Right.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, what I was gonna ask, when did Trump shut down the government, in air quotes?
Well,
a few weeks back?
I think we're on day 17 or 18.
Okay.
And
is your country crumbling already?
No, it's not. No,
we had
totally fine.
We had like 6 government shutdowns under Obama, if I remember. Maybe not 6, but we've had a couple.
I hope he keeps it shut down until the 2020 election.
Well, it was worse before, like when Obama was. But I was gonna say,
my God, can you just real quick? Can you imagine a president using this as his platform? Like, if you vote for me, I'm gonna just shut down the government for 4 years.
It's great. It's master control tactics. But I was gonna say real quick, we saw other government shutdowns. If I remember, I think it was 2012, 2011. We had a shutdown so bad that like national parks were closed. But it's like, I don't know. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, like this is terrible. Government workers aren't going to get paid at all. I was like, no, I don't think it's that bad. But
I mean, eventually shit does really start getting unfunded if it goes on long enough. But like, to me, I don't care. It's not going to affect my life. I don't work for the federal government. I don't have a vacation plan to a federal forest anytime soon. You know, the one thing that might affect me, and you too, Samo, is filing taxes. Might have to wait until all this is over. I usually don't file my taxes at the beginning of the year anyway. So, it's kind of, it's something that is there's a lot of hype over it, but it's really not a big deal. It's a big deal to some people, but they're going to get their money. It's not, I don't know. It's not like where he's kicking federal workers out on the side of the road. Not to mention, it's really, really important for us to get a border wall and to have border security. And the intransigence of the Democrats looks so stupid when compared to their past records and their own words on immigration and immigration control. These people are morons. I mean, Chuck Schumer on the record in front of cameras for years of his career talking about how illegal immigration is bad. We have to stop it. We have to show people that they can't just come here and take advantage of all this stuff. And now all of a sudden, Nancy Pelosi too. Now all of a sudden it's Trump's wall, and he's not going to get it. Like the optics of that, I don't understand where they're coming from, because it seems like the optics are very bad, and it seems like they're very obviously bad. Like, I don't know why anybody in the higher realms of the Democratic Party thinks that this is a good idea. I just don't see it.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating to me that the Democratic Party seems to have nothing learned whatsoever during the last 4 years. They are doing the exact same thing they are doing they did for the last 4 years, and it just doesn't work. I wanted to mention really quick, if you in Germany, it's not really different. You can, if you look at election billboards for the parties, where they post their little their slogans on. The CDU, which is Angela Merkel's party, which is the German version of the Republicans, if you look at their billboards 20 years ago, they said exactly the same thing that the AfD says today. And if you, I mean, literally, quite literally, word for word. And if you listen to Angela Merkel speak before she was chancellor, exactly the same. Like, we need to multiculturalism is dead, and we need to prevent illegal immigration, etc., etc. I don't think these people have any they don't actually have any principled positions. Basically, it's just wherever I get my votes from, whoever pays the most money to campaign. Yeah, basically Hillary Clinton's I have a private position and a public position.
Exactly. Yep. She said that.
Yeah, you can't walk that back. I mean, and this is kind of what frustrates me about a lot of the anti-Trump stuff that I run into in my life with fellow Americans. And, I live in a fairly liberal city, so it's not super uncommon for me to run into this. What really frustrates me about it is that when you really talk to a lot of these people, so-called progressive liberals, like, a lot of them haven't realized how far left their party has shifted. And when you talk to them on issues, like, they're not as crazy communists as the progressives are. Not even close, and their anti-Trump fervor is really more of just manufactured. They really can't tell you, they can't not all, sometimes I find people who can really tell me why they hate Trump and explain it, and I maybe I don't agree with them, but I'm like, look, hey, at least you have a thought out reason for why you don't like him. Unfortunately, that's not the majority of people who I encounter who are violently anti-Trump. It comes back to this. I didn't think myself into this position, and it frustrates me because in a lot of ways these people are not so far from where Trump is really on the as far as having thoughts and opinions on the government, and as far as how things should run. They think they are. They think they're way far away from Trump because they have this totally false view of who and what he is in their head. But
yeah,
they're really close to him.
Yeah, especially because he has an R by his name. That's if I thought about this. What if Hillary Clinton would have run as a Republican and Donald Trump would have, if it would be the exact same election, but the letters behind their names are switched. Trump has a D and Clinton has an R. I'm almost certain, except for the border wall thing, because that's not a progressive position at all. They would just be against that. But I'm almost certain half of these people would have voted for Trump just because he has a D by his name.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I see that too. And I think, and I've said it before, I think if Trump thought he could have won Democrat, he would have run, that way.
Yeah, he ran for convenience, for opportunistic reasons. I mean, if you look at Trump's Wikipedia page, he changed party affiliations back and forth every few years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard there is a theory, is a video, and the theory about Trump is that he may have been planning this like for over 30 years. If you
Yeah,
think
I don't
about
even
it.
think that that's
Okay, I
necessarily
don't
in
think so.
theory. I mean, he talked
Well,
about running for president like way back in like the late 80s.
Well, I was gonna say also during the Reagan campaign, I think he was invited to to certain things at the White House. So, for instance, something that he was pushing in the 80s is he really wanted to push for peace in the Middle East. And I don't know how factual this one is, but the other theory is that, and this is why I think people hate, basically, they think that Trump and Putin are like in cohorts. I don't think they are. But like one theory is too, from certain statements that he made in the past, is that Trump would maybe want an alliance with Russia, since we are like the nuclear superpowers, so that we could converge and maybe influence denuclearization together. I think that's why, I really think that's why people say, oh, Putin and Trump are, they're like working together. I think a lot of the globalists really know what type of a force that the US and Russia could be, if that makes sense, if we kind of did make an alliance with each other. I don't know if I'm going off subject there, but I think that's really why their connection is sort of demonized. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, it's interesting, but what I am sure about is that Trump has had presidential aspirations for a long time. And I'm not trying to say that
Yeah, he did run in
60
2000.
underwater chess, basket weaving times 10. I'm just saying that it's been a goal of his for a long time. There are some people who say that like he was tapped by military intelligence. There's some people who, and mostly that's like Q people. A lot of the QAnon followers think
Right.
that. But to me, it seems like my real take on Donald Trump is that he is an absolute narcissist and really loves himself and does and succeeds and does what he does because he loves to succeed and loves to build his ego.
Right.
And I have absolutely fucking zero problem with that in the context of somebody who is going to come in, be effective in government, and do good things for people. I don't care if he's doing it to feed some elephant-sized ego. I really don't. I don't care if he's doing it because he really genuinely wants to help people and is doing a good job. I don't care. The results are what I'm interested in, and the shakeup of the political process, which has been stagnant and dead for so long, was desperately needed.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love that point that you make, because I've talked, and sorry, I'm going to be real quick, but like some of my Christian friends that I talked to, about talked with about Trump, a lot of them, like one of my friends, he's like, well, I read Trump's book on making deals, and he said that sometimes he lies just to make deals, and I don't know if I could vote for somebody like that. And it's just like, geez, if that's the way you're thinking about politics, if you think that we're electing like a moralist or something like that, and we're doing this based on somebody's virtuous traits, it's just like it's not the point of politics to me. I want to see results. And to me, if somebody's like narcissistic and they're being an asshole and screwing people over and all that, like completely, or they're abusing their power, yeah, I'm going to criticize that. But I do think that Trump has a touch of narcissism, and I know that narcissists hate failure, they hate humiliation. So hey, if that's going to motivate him to do a good job, okay, I'll sign up.
Yeah, the guy's in the media for decades. He's a billionaire, and he said he has written his fucking name in gold all over the country. Yeah, the guy is a mild narcissist.
Yeah. Just a mild narcissist.
Just mildly narcissistic. He writes his name in 10-foot gold letters on his buildings.
Yeah. And everything everything is wonderful and fabulous and just beautiful,
It's true. And you know what? I think there's a really hard line between people who can look at that and understand it and laugh at it, and then people who can't and take him so serious and get so upset whenever he does or says anything that's just Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the line is called "Walk Away."
Yeah.
Hashtag walk away.
Yeah.
But beyond that, the Democrats have their own problem, because between Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Nancy Pelosi, and Tom Perez, they share very little in the way of like actual policy agreements between the neoliberals and the hyper progressive. I mean, it really is like two parties crammed into one.
Yeah, I can't find it right now. There's Tim Pool there's an article on The Economist that has a juxtaposition of the Democratic the platform of the Democrats and the platform of the Republicans as a graph, basically left right, and it shows that over the past 30 years or so, the Republican platform and the Republican message has basically stayed the same, moved a little to the right, but it's still a bell curve, a normal bell curve. And the Democrat platform has moved further and further to the left and stretched out more and more. And it's not a bell curve anymore. It's basically what you describe. It's two groups of people, one that wants to stay in the center and one that moves to the left more and more. And I predict that if this movement continues, you will see a rip in the party that rips the party in two. And either you have you are not going to have the Democrats disappear because of the electoral college and the system, the way that it is designed in America. The Democrats are not going to go anywhere. But you could theoretically see the party split apart and become two parties, which is one the Democratic Socialists, which is the far left bump, and the neoliberals / moderates, which are either gonna defect to the Greens, Libertarians, and Republicans, or form a new party entirely, which I doubt.
Yeah. In all honesty, if the left continues on this path, and if Trump wins in 2020, which I'm pretty sure he will, and their trend continues this way for 6 years, in 6 years, I think what you describe is a very real possibility.
Yeah.
I think the way that it looks will be a little bit more like the Democrats now look and are totally through and through progressive, like to the point of being socialistic and Marxist, communist, basically. And they will be a very weak national party because the third parties are going to get a huge boost if this keeps going on, and they are. I mean, like the last election, more people voted third party than I think ever, in the modern frame.
Yeah, not ever, but yeah,
Not ever, but yeah, in the last couple decades, for sure. And yeah, so I don't necessarily see it splitting into two and having because America, for better or worse, is pretty baked into this two-party system. So it's just, that's not something that's going away in the next couple decades. It may be in 50, 60 years if things go the right way, but that structure is going to stick around. What will change is the platforms and the people running them. And, this will bring the Republicans closer to the center too, because they're going to have people who are coming who were centrists from, the old Democrats.
Yeah. Hang on. I've just sent a link. Oh no, wait. I can make Can I screen share with OBS?
Yeah. Is it a video that you want to play?
No,
or
it's basically
image?
just a picture.
Okay. Yeah. You can screen
It's
share.
a still from the video.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Do a screen share.
There it is.
Nice.
Is it on screen?
Yep.
Yep,
it is on screen. Yep.
Simple. Yeah, this is the graph today. Said. Yeah,
Yes.
if you look at the Republicans, they basically stay the same. And 1980s, 40 years, over the last 40 years, starting here is Obama. Yeah. Obama moved the Democrats way to the left, and now you have this thing and this right here. This is the neoliberals and the moderates who just don't really want to go this far left.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, it takes a lot to ideologically get behind like straight up big government communism. Like, there's a level that
Yeah.
there's a level on the Democratic side that I understand is empathetic, and they want the government to spend on good altruistic things, and then that bumps up against, okay, now we're going to control the state and control, literally the economy. As far as I understand, these people actually do want government control over the economy, to a really huge degree. I don't know that even the Democratic Socialists, or the social whatever social, I guess, yeah, the Democratic Socialists
Democratic
are
Socialists.
maybe not fully communistic, but they're at least advocating for way more centralized control that over time will become more aggressively communistic. Like, I mean, you can't stop it. I mean, that's just going to be the way it goes. It's scary.
Yeah, didn't Ocasio-Cortez give an interview recently about where she said that what was it? Oh yeah, she wants a Green New Deal. She wants completely make
Yes.
America, the United States, completely get rid of fossil fuels completely till 2030,
Oh
which
Yeah,
is
it's
man,
it's
yeah.
fucking
psycho.
impossible.
It's psycho.
Not even,
I
yeah, not
mean,
even if everyone wants this and everyone works towards this goal, this is not going to happen. And she said that this is just you accomplished by taxing like the top people 70-80%.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
right.
I mean, and the stupidest thing about the way that Ocasio is going about this and her idea is that, like, if she were really smart, she would be playing the center while giving overtures to her far left people, because in reality, what I mean, I could see a green, quote unquote, green New Deal being something that is good for the country. I mean, I can see something under the name of a Green New Deal being something that's good for the country in the form of maybe government investing in some modern futuristic energy sources, the government spending money and really trying to achieve goals that help the environment, and doing that, and I think there are ways to do that that actually boost industry and would make a lot of the money people on the right say, okay, well, we could do that. But no, what she's saying, she's packaging it up and basically saying, yeah, green communism, that's what we want.
Yeah.
We get, you're walking to work or ride your bike, you fucking schlub. I'm gonna take this private jet to the Central Green Party debate stage and grandstand while I take away your standard of living. Like, it's so crazy. It
Oh
really makes me
yeah.
question if she even really knows what she's saying.
I mean, I think she does. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I'm thinking about when she first was going to get into Congress. She was complaining about not getting her pay right away and that they should like make more money. I honestly think that she's just talking about these great, fluffy sort of policies that people are going to support. But what she's really doing is she's got herself in a nice, comfy, situation. She's got everything she needs. She's gonna have amazing healthcare forever.
Of
I
course.
feel like with these communist movements, these whatever you want to call it, social democrats, but anybody who's like communistic in mind, like what you do is you join the government if you want to have a cushy, nice life. And I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, this is, by the way, this is a German libertarian old guy, has about 50,000 Teslas and
Yeah.
talks about his fucking Teslas all day long. There's a lot of videos about economics and shit. He's partially responsible for me to the right and to the right. Basically, I've been libertarian before. Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. He actually made a good point that people who benefit from the government, as in anyone who collects social security, people who work for the government. If you get a government paycheck, if you get government subsidies, etc., you should not have a right to vote. For which I actually agree with this. You should not have a right to vote to give yourself more of my money.
Yeah.
Because if you are always going to vote for the party that wants to make these subsidies more and make government paychecks, higher, that stuff.
No, I mean, it's a fun concept. I think it goes hand in hand with, like, I don't really think that Congress should be able to give themselves raises.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
they do it all the time. I mean, and I get, like, I do get raises with cost of living, and I do understand that. And I'm not saying, if you're a government worker, you should never expect to get a raise. But why would anybody think a situation where somebody is in control of their own ability to give themselves raises would not abuse that? You wouldn't set up a system like that anywhere for any reason. It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, because it's the special pleading fallacy, the special pleading, um yeah, but it's the government, and the government is the good guy, and people who work for the government are the good guys, and if the government is in charge, everything is awesome.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's very childish.
the rules that to them apply to private businesses, like the way they see private businesses, private companies, if they could just start seeing the government the same way, they because that's what it is.
On steroids.
Yeah, on steroids with way more power, but just as corrupt, probably even more corrupt.
Exactly.
If these people could start seeing this as that it actually is, we could all move together in the center again.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, I agree.
Did you? So didn't you want to talk about the Ocasio dancing thing?
Oh yeah, yeah. I wanted to mention that video that came out. Honestly, I got to be honest. The first time I saw it, I was like, "Wow!" I was like, I didn't know she was kind of a babe, man. But
Oh, dude,
yeah,
she's hot.
yeah,
10
man.
out of 10.
Yeah,
I mean, if it weren't for the whole "don't stick your dick in crazy" thing, I'd be all over it.
But in all seriousness, though, like when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, I bet there's gonna be all kinds of outrage." And I read the comments and all these like stupid boomer takes on it. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but the red base pill boomer takes were pretty funny. Well, not funny, but everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, like I can't believe this. This is crazy." When I saw it, I didn't think there was anything nuts about it. I was like, I hope people don't talk about this. But there's like, what is it? Like, I guess Ocasio feels like there was outrage over it. I wasn't outraged.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's two elements going on with this. I think there's like an element of faux outrage that the left wants to pump up because they understand that helps them. And then
Right.
there are totally real, not a joke, not people trying to fluff it up, real deal people who maybe not fell for it, but had the legitimate reason to, not reasonable, had the legitimate reaction of, oh my God, look how horrible, dumb Ocasio is, and didn't understand or see far enough to understand that they're giving energy to her. Nobody cares about somebody dancing. Nobody cares about a young girl dancing. Nobody gives a fuck.
I mean, to me, it almost kind of humanized her to me in certain ways.
Totally.
And I thought it was, whatever,
Yeah, there is Ocasio Cortez. Wait, is this a last name? Does she have two last names?
I think it's hyphenated. Yeah, it's Ocasio Cortez.
Yeah, it's doesn't matter. It's Ocasio Cortez derangement syndrome.
I call her occasional Cortez.
Occasional Cortex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ocasio Cortez derangement syndrome is a thing. Tim Pool talks a lot about that. She's basically the left Trump.
Yeah, like that's definitely what she's trying to be. She, when Trump got in, she was taking some courses with a focus group, like, let's analyze how did Trump get into office? What did he do on that 4 channel so that he could get in office? And they were just like, looking into it and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. And also there's some video talking about it. I forget who it was, but they were talking about the first Twitter account to retweet this video. And it seemed like it was an account that was created in 2019. Their icon was like the anonymous Guy Fawkes mask, and their name was like anonymous like Q or something like that. And then in the bio it said like proud white dad. So it totally looked like some account. Who knows? It could have been some lefty that like made some account to look like a pro-Trump person to kind of like get the outrage starting. I don't know.
I mean, it's not impossible.
No,
That's
no,
for
no.
dang
And
sure.
so,
It's I mean,
so are we going to see her running for office in 2024? Who will know? Who
oh,
knows?
guaranteed.
Can
She'll have been
she?
running for
Well,
president for fucking what, a shit ton of time. Like her
she
entire time in Congress, she'll be running for president.
well, she thought she was going to run in 2020, but she's too young. I forget. Would you have to be
Yeah.
at least 35 or something like that?
Isn't she too young to run in
Yeah.
2024?
Yeah. Would she be too young
yeah,
then?
it depends on when the election is. Her birthday is October 13th, which if the election is in November, would make her 35 years old.
Okay.
So she would not be 35 during the campaign, but the election
is right.
Okay. If she would actually get elected, she would. You couldn't be much younger and get elected. That would be a world record she would hold for a while.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody'd ever beat that.
Yeah. Also, I did want to mention there was something she recently said. Sorry to kind of segue this, but what did she say? This is kind of interesting. So it's a tweet from Candace Owens about Ocasio. It says, "Factuality and morality are not mutually exclusive concepts." So I guess so. Basically, what was she saying?
I think she said to Anderson Cooper, like Anderson called her on like some facts that she had misstated and like some of her gaffes.
I think she said that. She said, "There's a lot of people. There are a lot of people more concerned about being precisely factual and anatomically correct than
Anatomically?
No. My dyslexic ass read that wrong. Yeah, semantically correct than being morally right. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. It's a weird statement.
No, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. When I heard her say that,
I said anatomically correct. I can't believe I said that.
Oh no! Well, what she's saying is way stupider than that. Are you kidding me? Like it's more important to feel good about a situation than to understand that it's correct. Like
yeah,
it just blows my mind with the stupidity.
Yeah. A little anecdote. I talked to my brother about my brother was here over the holidays and talked to him about the whole Star Trek phenomenon, and the Last Jedi, and I actually sort of liked the Last Jedi when I watched it the first time, and then I watched the 5-hour Mauler review where he like dissects the movie and goes into detail about why the movie is complete shit, which it is. Like, on quality level, it's a bad movie, and I'm not a Star Wars fan.
Right.
That's why it didn't break my heart. I was okay. I guess the movie is bad. Right. That's it. Then who cares? The end.
Right.
And my brother said something like, "Yeah, but isn't this sort of a bad thing then to analyze this? Because now I lost basically the joy of watching the movie. And this is basically what describe now. This is the I want to feel good about it. I don't actually want to know that it's bad. Well, yes, I do. I want to know if this stuff I watch is bad or not. I don't want to sacrifice reality for my illusion, even if the illusion is more comfortable than reality.
Yeah, well, and when you take that concept and apply it to like political doctrine and political philosophy, like you're just begging for authoritarians to take over, because I mean it's just so easy to trick people on emotional levels. I mean it's not and it's not an old thing, or a new thing. It's been around for fucking ever. This is not new.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. But I was gonna say, I want to go back. I want to make one more Ocasio comment. The one thing I was gonna say is, I would like this is a pipe dream, I know, but it would be really cool to see in the next few years, to see if maybe she goes back towards the center. I can't really place what her strategy is, what her viewpoints are. I don't think. I mean, she probably is a fringe lefty, But it'd be cool to see, like, if maybe something happens where she changes her mind on things and can be a little bit more sensible. Because I honestly think, because she is pretty like strong, a lot of people like her. She's got that young energy, but I really think that she could see herself in an opportunity where she could do some good in maybe bringing us all a little bit closer together. I don't think it's likely, but it's definitely a wish and a dream of mine. I'd like to see that. I kind of want to like, I want to like Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't rage at her, I mean, it's just
Right.
like I just find her ideas so stupid, and it's like for some reason, because she's sassy on Twitter, and I guess not for some reason, for the same reason Trump is popular. I mean, if you're sassy on Twitter, people like you, I guess.
Yeah.
That's just the world we live in.
And yeah, Trump is definitely sassy as well, I'd say.
Yeah, it's not partisan, that's for sure.
yeah, I want to see Trump and Ocasio-Cortez on the debate stage.
That
That
would
would
be
be great.
great. That would be hilarious. Trump would have fun with it too. I know
Of course.
they both would have fun, man.
They
That would be
both
fun to
talk
watch.
so much shit.
Oh my gosh, it'd be so great. It'd be hilarious. It would be like a comedy. Here's what I want to see. I want to see them debate, and I want like Joe Rogan to be the commentator. I want it to be a full out comedic like event.
Yeah.
Coming to a debate stage near you.
Yes.
Yeah, have you heard of Bernie versus Trump?
No, is it a video? Or?
No.
Oh man, I left my ass up. There are two comedians that played Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, and they did a fake or multiple fake. You can it's on YouTube. Multiple fake debates in 2016, Bernie versus Trump. These things are fucking awesome, man.
Let's see.
Check them out.
Let's see. I'm gonna.
Like
yeah, we'll have to
full
pull these
length.
up.
It's an actual like 1 hour debate.
Oh yeah, I'll have to watch that. And you know what? Next time we broadcast, we'll have to talk a little bit in advance. And if there are certain clips that we want to pull up, I can get them queued up like ahead of time, so it's not
Nice.
as much
Yeah.
of a mess, like in different scenes and stuff. But yeah,
There's a 40-minute Trump versus Bernie on Central and a 40-minute
oh
on
yeah, I see it right now. Oh,
Fusion.
that'll be funny.
This two different debates, by the way.
Oh wow, I can't believe. Yeah, it was 2 years ago that came out.
Yeah, and 3 years almost in 2016.
I can't believe it's really been that long already.
Yeah, the 2020 election is like a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Yeah, we are halfway through Trump's first term.
That's right.
Yeah.
First term for
That
any
evil
liberals
bigot,
listening.
man. What a bigot trying to
Yeah,
prison reform, pulling out of the Middle East. What an asshole. Prick.
yeah.
Yeah, people are really putting themselves in a bind trying to be totally anti-Trump right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because it makes them pro-war, apparently.
Hey, man. It's in vogue to be pro-war nowadays if you're on the left. You ain't
Very
progressive
trendy.
if you're not for murdering children in Yemen by drone strike.
That's right. You're just not a progressive unless you are bloodthirsty for foreign Middle Eastern wars. Where the hell? I mean, how do you go from being anti-Iraq war, anti-Bush to a daily modern progressive today? How do you make that transition?
Yeah, I understand. I understand that the whole of the two aisles are crazy, but I don't understand how the individuals in these two aisles. I don't understand how you are an individual in this aisle, in the left aisle and Democratic aisle, and you see and you're being told you have to be for war now because that's just how it is.
Yeah, really not a whole lot of good explanation. Just a straight switch.
Yeah,
It's just a sign
because Orange Man bad.
Orange
That's why
Man bad.
we pro war.
it's a sign of the corporatists, I guess corporatists sort of taking over the leftist movement. I think Obama played a big role in the corporatization of the Democratic Party.
I thought about that today, by the way. How much of this far left progressive stuff is fueled by just corporations and people who just basically want to make money. This is basically progressivism. This is like the most ironic thing ever. Progressivism is a product sold by corporations and billionaires to people who call themselves socialists.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fucking
wild.
crazy, man. Yeah.
But I mean, there was a lot of weird stuff going on after the 2018, not the 2018, the 2008 recession. I mean, China was buying up all types of stuff like, what is it, HSBC? Like they're opening banks here and all that. And I honestly feel like some of the Democrats, especially Obama, they definitely were allied with the Chinese. I wonder how much the Chinese are sort of running the show within that camp right now. I mean, because a lot of the things that we're seeing might be, it might have to do with China. The left is very
it's
upset.
in their interest.
I mean,
to stop us for standing up for ourselves in the sense of trade.
Well, yeah, and I think that's why there's all this this lore about the spooky Russians. It's like Alinskyite sort of a tactic of the left. They may very well have been colluding with China, and as a diversion tactic, they're just gonna be like, oh, Trump's doing exactly what we do. Let's not talk about what we do. We'll just make up this story and say that Trump's doing it with Russia.
That's right.
But anyway.
Well, it is true Alinsky fashion to blame others for exactly what you're responsible for doing.
Yep.
Your new House of Representatives, January 3rd is when it started. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's in session. They've had a couple of, I don't know if they've done anything yet, but probably not.
54% Democrat is the House.
Yeah, they definitely have the House, and they got Nancy Pelosi right out of the crypt. Right out of the crypt.
Yeah, they all talk about, now we gotta impeach Trump.
It's like the first thing they talked about after she got in.
God, I hope. I mean, I hope and dread at the same time that this is what they are gonna do for the next 2 years. It's just like 2 years of doing nothing and talking about. I promise we are totally gonna impeach Trump
any day now. Any day,
Mueller's any day now.
Well, it's like I don't think that anybody's really who's talking about impeachment really understands impeachment. I mean, like, first of all, what are they going to impeach him for? Second of all, do you really think the Senate is going to convict and remove him?
Yeah,
because you need the Senate. I mean, impeachment is not removing the president.
It's a show. It's for the progressives. It's for the 8% progressives in America who are now going, yeah, impeach Trump. We gotta vote Democrats.
Yeah.
Who would vote Democrat anyway? Which means
impeach Trump so we can have a Christian theocracy by Mike Pence. Gay conversion therapy for everyone.
yeah, right. Let's get rid of the pro-LGBT president and get Mike Pence instead.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a silly thing because he's been super successful. Like even his enemies have to say that.
Yeah,
they have to report on the jobs numbers and the economy. Like,
but they don't live in reality, so they don't have to say this. They just pretend that it doesn't happen.
They just plug their ears.
Yeah. Put your finger in your ears, close your eyes. Go la 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 la. Trump's bad. Orange man bad.
It works. I've heard it works. So
yeah, Islamic religion peace.
That's a good one.
But I want Mike Pence. I want Trump impeached, and I want Mike Pence in office, and he'll like show up every day for like the daily Christian prayer in a Pope uniform.
His investments. I think Pence gets a bad rap. I think he's
I know.
he's
I'm
a
just
meme.
kidding.
He's a funny old meme, that guy.
Yeah, I know.
His dopey old face. I mean, he is a Christian fundamentalist, though, and it is very good to point that out. That like the
I
people
know a
who
lot of those
are
types, those Mike Pence type of people.
yeah,
Good
and
people.
then the progressives are advocating for that over the the porn star banging, coke drinking, New York socio elite billionaire. They'd rather have the Christian fundamentalist.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Yeah, right. I've actually never seen it that way.
Yeah, no.
It's
Well,
ridiculous.
I did hear somebody. I read something where they're like, if we impeach Trump, we're gonna have to impeach Pence. Could you imagine? They're gonna have to open up a whole nother thing against Pence. It's just
I think
like
Maxine Waters said something about that.
Yeah, isn't that what you said? Yeah, right.
Yeah, she's like, and then it's like it's crazy. Because you have to think that at least some portion of these Democratic Congress people are like fully aware of how full of shit they are.
Yeah, I again the big shots, what have you, the Chuck Schumer, I think is his name, Nancy Pelosi, and what's the other one, Maxine. These kinds of people, they know exactly what they're doing. They are probably very well aware of the actual procedures and protocols and why and how it would work or would not work. I think it's just a show. That's all it is.
It's prepackaged progressive
it's
bullshit.
Yeah, and second, they don't have any actual positions or whatever. They just for 4 years they did. Yeah, we are not Trump. That's their position. We are not Trump. And now they maybe realize that they actually don't have any positions besides that. And of course, yeah, we need gun control and everything needs to be for free. But that's how do you campaign on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, not very successfully.
I really think that this impeach Trump thing, this campaigning, this is the 2020 Democratic presidential campaign.
Yeah,
Impeach
no, you're
Trump.
totally right.
Yeah, that's it. Like waste millions of taxpayer money, grind the government to a halt. Doesn't matter. We need to make what did I say? Yeah, campaign, presidential campaign. Fuck the country.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely a clown car right now. I mean, it's entertaining. It's very entertaining. And I do think that people are getting a little bit less polarized as time goes on. I think people are getting a little bit less extreme. Then there's some people who are getting more extreme, like a small, portion of the people who are just hyper diluted and really just have no idea what's going on and they're just mad about it. But a lot of people are coming around because, the longer the left makes asinine, idiotic comments and predictions and dooms and glooms, and then it doesn't come. I mean, the more that happens, the more real thinking people are going to start to question things.
Yeah, exactly. The Republicans move to the center thanks to Trump, especially with the social stuff, abortion and gay rights and stuff. The Democrats move to the far left, straight up full blown communism. Basically.
Yeah, not even a joke, like full blown communism.
Fuck freedom. We own you now. And the further to the left they run, the more people wake up.
Yeah, and again, the more thinking people wake up. It really comes down to critical thinking.
Critical thinking, and you have the internet, the internet and independent content creators, which is the reason why they crack down on everybody right now, because they work.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yep. Good stuff.
Well, I have got to get going, guys. We went a little over today. I think we did good. little extra for the folks today.
Yeah, it's been a good stream. Thank you to anybody who's been listening. We're gonna wrap this up. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully the three of us will be able to be there again. If not, it's all right. But
if not, and as always, remember to follow Samo on YouTube and follow me, Boondoggle, on YouTube. And if you can find us on Twitter, come on over.
And you're not going to be following Tommy because he doesn't use social media. He's smart, but
yeah,
that's right.
Facebook, but I don't use it.
Yeah. All right. See you guys.
Okay. Well, I'm not even. I'm gonna ignore that, Tommy.
All right. See you guys later.
All right, guys.